Yeah. All right, what's going on, everybody?
How you doing?
I'm gonna send this out real quick. See if we can get some more people in here.
Sorry we missed last week's show. Something came up and we got crazy, so we just had to cancel it at the last minute. We were hoping to be able to do it.
Yeah, it's been crazy these last I'm gonna say 2 weeks.
Yep.
We haven't been able to do a Sunday night show. We haven't been able to do. Well, the reason on a Sunday night show is we couldn't. Some of the guests we were trying to get going, we couldn't get on there, and then that's what happened the last show. We were talking with them, but they were at a tournament.
What's up, Richard?
Trying to get all that straight. So,
if y'all are on here, if you could go ahead and hit the like button for us, that would be awesome.
Share it with your friends. I'm trying to share it up on our One Objective page as we speak right now.
Yeah, he's being rude.
Sorry, guys. Oops. We're gonna talk about some things that we've getting into when it comes to technique wise, and then we're gonna talk about
some night fishing.
Yeah, night fishing. As we like see the title, it's night fishing, swim bait setups, stuff like that. So, but anyways, got that live. So, anyways, got 3 people. Who we got in here right now? Is that Richard? Who else we got in here? We got 2 more people here. Comment. Let us know who we got in here, if you don't mind. But I'm not gonna be bossy.
Whatever.
But no, it's been crazy. It's been crazy last couple of weeks. It's a good crazy. Hey, you want to cut that light on there? It looks really dark.
Yeah. Don't worry, I'll get up. Set the mood.
Yeah, there you go. Whew. Looks a little bit better.
Rain and fire.
I guess your screen's a little darker. That's why. I don't know. Eating Moose Tracks ice cream. Oh, Anthony Campbell.
Oh man!
Thanks for joining us, man. Yeah. Is that Bass Cat Day? Bass Cat Day's here. All right.
What's up?
We'll get a few guys in here.
If y'all can hit the like button, that'd be great.
Go ahead and hit the like button. Share it if you don't mind, or share it after the show. It don't matter how we do it. But like I said, we got a few things we want to talk about. Night fishing's coming up. You got the shad spawn, which is going to take place with either your early morning fishing or night fishing.
Yep. And bluegill spawn's going to happen pretty quick.
Yeah, bluegill spawn, depending on where you're at in the country. Some of you down south probably it's already going on or about done. I don't know.
Yep.
I know here we're starting to get the bluegill spawns should be starting up now.
Yeah.
So we got a few baits we're going to be showing with you guys, some stuff that we're getting into that we've been trying when it comes to baits. And like I said, our last show we talked about swim baits, we talked about the mag draft, and we've had I'm not going to say a lot of success, but we've had some improvements.
Yes,
since using it.
Yeah.
I mean, with building confidence with it.
Yeah, definitely just a confidence builder for sure.
Yeah. So I mean,
I never threw big baits like that. I mean, I think I still got the same one that Skeet Reese used at that lake. I never threw it just because I paid so much for it.
So I mean, we're kind of building up some confidence with the bigger baits. Mm-hmm. So we're kind of working into a different line of baits, and right now glide baits, which is I'm learning, it's kind of like getting into a new hobby.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, it really is. I mean, by the time
expensive.
Very expensive hobby.
It can be a very expensive hobby.
Now, you can go cheaper.
And that's what we're doing.
Yeah.
We're not going over crazy, but we didn't know how expensive glide baits were until you start looking at the ones that the guys are really catching. Like if we went on Bassmasters and look at what won the Elite Series, and we went on there and we started looking up some of the companies.
Yeah.
Well, we found one company that we had talked about before we went on the Elite Series, and those baits were like $120, and we were like, "That's way too high."
Yeah.
Well, then we didn't know that the range of these baits was anywhere from $10 to $1,000.
Yeah.
I mean, they get crazy, and the paint jobs on them are magnificent.
Now,
on some of them,
I will say, yeah, when you get into like some of the $250 ones we looked at,
Mhm.
some of those were like, holy crap, that is a real gizzard shad
Yep.
or a heron. And then you get into some of them that you're like, I could have probably painted it better than that. And I don't know if the bait runs good. It might run really good.
Mhm. It might be something different with the bait.
It could be.
That doesn't need the paint job, but like if you were to buy that bait and then for you to have the confidence to throw that bait, you have to go another $150 to get it painted.
Yeah,
you can have some big money in here. And we've been watching a lot of Tactical Bass and
them guys
a lot of Chris Zaldane, and I mean those guys are phenomenal. Their videos are excellent.
Yeah.
So if you're looking to do to learn any of this stuff, they go super in detail with everything.
No joke. Swim baits, fishing is addictive and can get expensive real fast.
Oh yeah, we found that out real quick.
Somebody said, Bass Cat Day said, no ice cream, but got his 3-month-old granddaughter. Oh yeah, enjoy those moments, brother.
Oh
yeah. We've learned. So we are working on a setup right now. So let's kind of backtrack a little bit. What's kind of got us into it was, like I said, we was watching Bassmasters. We started with the swim bait addiction. That's like the gateway drug.
You start with I would say the easiest way to get started was with Keitech.
Yeah,
I mean they make a phenomenal soft swim bait that you can fish it in so many different ways, and we got into that. We started throwing the little ones, and then you work up, and you just we've caught fish on all type of Keitech. That would be that was the only type of swim bait that I would actually buy and throw.
Yeah,
that I was spending money on until this year. And then I ended up, we bought some of those, and then,
I built confidence in Chickamauga on it. I mean, I watched a buddy of mine catch a lot of fish off of it, and I caught a couple, but not like we did at Chickamauga. And I started having, like, I could throw it a little more at Chickamauga, but then when we really started catching them, I really built it up. So, but it's a gateway drug, man. But we're learning this. So when we got into throwing in mag drafts and having, big fish follows, the fish that we have caught off of it, you've caught a 5-pounder, you've caught a 4-pounder. Yep. I caught one. I'm gonna say 5. If it wasn't 5, it was like 4.9 something. You know what I mean? Like it was 5. And then I lost a monster with the bait a couple weekends ago. So and with a bunch of followers. So you build that confidence. Are we catching a lot of fish off of it? Not really.
No.
But you're building that confidence of like, I can keep throwing this because eventually one of them's going to make contact.
Yeah, and I mean, you're going to probably get more follows and more hits on it.
Yeah.
Because I had a ton of hits. If I could have put all I caught 2 pike on it as well.
Yeah.
Like on my first cast or second cast with it, I had a pretty decent pike on. And then the cast right after that, I had another one on. So, I mean, there's definitely other species of fish that are going to want to eat these things. So,
yeah, I mean, it's when you're getting into the swim bait thing, like I say, we're no pros at this. We're new, we're learning. So as we learn on this experience, we want to share with you guys and things that we've bought, things, probably ain't worth the time or money, So, but anyways, we kind of getting into that. There's some things that we've bought now here recently to help maybe help with these strikes. But also now that we're getting into glide baits, we're learning that there's a whole different setup when it comes to reels, when it comes to rods. I mean, you can go with a small glide bait, like a small perch, like we say, like a 4-inch.
4 and I would say 4.
Yeah, 4 or 5 inch.
And really, it's the difference in the weight. Like you can go with a 6-inch bait, but it might only be 3/4 of an ounce. And then you go up to the bigger swim baits that are, the glide baits that are anywhere from an ounce to 4, 5, 6 ounces. Some of these baits are. And I mean, it's all different techniques, the way you have to throw them, the way you reel them. It is like learning fishing all over again.
Yeah.
Which is cool, but like it is totally different than what you would normally do. I've caught myself a couple times.
Yeah. And so kind of just starting off what we got. What we ended up getting in the last last week or so, we ended up getting into, so like some of these baits, like James was talking about, are heavy. Now, a lot of the baits that we have are really not that heavy yet.
No.
I mean, what's this? Okay, so right here's one. This is one we're looking at right now. That's a 6 cents. What is this one called?
I think it's a Flow Glide.
Shad scale. Yeah, Flow Glider 130. Which I'll take us out of the package here in just a minute. I have not had a chance to do this. I know James do it a little bit.
Yep. I think that is like, what is it, a $16 bait or something like that?
Yeah.
Which is not cheap, but it's cheap on the glide bait side of things.
Yeah. When you're getting into glide bait and you want to get into something, you know, like that you don't want to spend a lot of money because you don't know if you're going to like doing it. Because this is, I'm going to tell you right now, and just watching videos and just kind of seeing with the big swim bait deal, this is like a jig bite. You're looking for 5 big fish a day. Not saying you can't have a hell of a day where you catch a bunch of fish.
Yeah.
But for the most part, you're not going to catch them like you would on a shaky head. That's a beauty, a big one. It's cheap. Yeah. That one's cheap. Now we do have the Gantrel. Is that what you said?
Yeah.
I mean, that's in your 39.
The most expensive bait we got is that one, which is around the $40 mark.
Yeah. So anyways, just kind of getting into some stuff that we've been looking at. This is the Revo Beast. This one, because there's two of them. There's actually the Revo Beast X, which is a little cheaper. I mean, if you look at them, they're pretty daggone close.
Yeah, it's pretty similar.
This to gear ratios, like this one is a 6. What was this one?
It's a 6.4. 6.4.
6.4, and then this one's a 5.8 one. So, but that thing about this one too is you get a bigger handle, bigger knobs, and then you also get a spare handle. This one's more with the weight on one end, with the bigger handle. You know, it just depends on which way you want to work it.
Yeah,
I'm gonna try both. I like to see this.
And this one here, you can tell it's just got the regular old handle on it. It's still the same width. It's pretty much the same style. Like they went with the same style here and here.
Yeah,
it's just the different knobs.
Now you're getting in when it comes to price points. It's a little bit different price point. You know what I mean? If you're just wanting to get into glide baits and you kind of on a budget, you don't want to spend a lot of money. I would recommend at least the Revo X Beast because of the drag system. I mean, you got a 24-pound, I think it's 24-pound drag.
It's 24-pound drag, and you hold at 12-pound test, you can hold 240 yards on here. These are 40 size reels.
Yeah.
So you can put more line on them, because if you're casting a big swim bait, you can cast a ton farther. So you need to be able to have more line capacity if you're going to put, like we bought 25-pound that we're going to actually run on these.
The Seaguar and VisiX. That's what we've been running with a lot. That's what we run a lot of.
Yeah, and I mean some of them we might run braid with as well, but you can cast these a country mile for sure.
Yeah, I mean the braid, the spools are pretty big on them. What was that?
Yeah, he said he needs to pick up his first bait cast reel. There is a ton to choose from.
Yeah,
we've just been. I mean,
yeah,
we've had a lot of different other reels. We have not had some of the other reels. Like I don't think I've ever owned a Shimano.
No, I've never owned a Shimano. There's 13. There's Duckett.
Yeah, I've never owned a Daiwa bait caster besides like a super duper old one that was a hand me down.
The team Daiwa.
So I have, I don't know.
Yeah.
Differences in those, but I know Aber Garcia offers a ton of different reels from starter all the way up, and it really all depends on what you're using it for.
Yeah. I mean, look, I'll be honest with you. I just got rid of some of my Black Maxes. I mean, I've used Revos. I've got several Revos before then.
Mm-hmm.
But the Black Maxes with just fishing the river, and I take good care of them. I try to clean them up every year. Sometimes if I fish the river a lot, I'll clean them up 2 times a year,
mm-hmm.
and then maybe oil them up a couple more times in between times. But eventually, it gets to a point where the $60, $50, $39, whatever
mm-hmm.
the reels cost, are just not going to be as smooth later down the road as what one of expensive reel would
but
be.
They're perfect beginner reel.
Or if you wade in the river a lot too, you know what I mean? You scared of dropping it in the river all the time.
Or you're just a beginner kayaker and you're going out some and throw those in the boat and
Yeah.
leave your better stuff at the house.
Yeah. Yeah. You don't want to. I've lost a Revo in a river. I have thrown some Lew's. Lew's has been pretty smooth.
I've had Lew's.
And then we used to throw quantum always. I remember quantum irons we had.
Oh yeah,
They were a beast reel. We catfished and everything with them reels.
Those reels were nasty.
I still got mine. One of mine.
I still have some. I still have that one. Was that tour edition? That rainbow colored one.
Yeah. Yeah, that was. I remember those. And well, I don't know. We just, yeah, but we just ended up getting away. My dad is a thing for me throwing Abu a lot because my dad threw them. My dad was especially like the big 5500s and the what's that one? Is it 40-some hundred?
I think it was the
42.
Yeah,
I can't remember what it was, but the little smaller Abu Garcia small round reels.
We started throwing. That's what we kind of switched over to them, and then we've had other reels in between.
Yeah, but kind of getting into this, when you're getting into, I'm gonna say swim bait fishing, big swim bait fishing, and glide baits, mainly the glide baits, you're gonna want, and this is just from learning, and we've thrown a couple of these on some of our other reels and rods, which we're gonna get into that a little bit. Hopefully, we'll hope to have an in-depth video once we get our rods in, and kind of show you, what we like about them, and because we got some rods coming from Falcon that I'm really excited about getting. So that's what these reels are going to go on. But that's the main thing. You want to get that and a good reel setup, rod setup, and get a line. And then you can start really feeling comfortable throwing a lot of these bigger baits.
Yeah.
But I mean, this one here, I know we showed you a little while ago, but I just want to show you guys a little bit more. I can get it out of the package. But it's just that one. Now, some of your glide baits, a lot of your glide baits actually have single hinge.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Because they're trying to get that. I don't know. There was a couple that the Game Trail, and it was that's got 3.
That's got 3 in bluegill.
Yeah.
I think it all depends on what they want how it to swim, or how wide.
Yeah, and how wide they want it to go. It's because if you go on tactical bass, and this stuff we're learning,
we're learning the stuff we're telling you is a lot of stuff we've learned from that.
Yeah. Is there's like close glides and wide glides. You know what I mean? Like some baits are really close how they glide, and some are really wide. Like that, around trees, you want something that's a little closer of a glide. This one here, the more we look at it, it's a great looking bait. The only thing I have and I haven't thrown this yet, is just it seems like there needs to be more between here, like. The hinge system needs to be a little bit bigger, but I haven't thrown it yet to say that I don't like it. You know what I mean? I'm just comparing to other
It's baits. Definitely a tighter, more,
and that might be the way they do it.
But so like working it like next to trees and stuff like that might be what you want.
Yeah,
and that's what I've worked 3 swims.
Is unstable. Try reconnecting. Let us know if you still got us, guys. I'm not sure what's going. It's some bad storms came through today. If you're in Virginia, you kind of understand. We got some pretty good storms. That could be why some of it was dropping off too. People. So just let us know.
He said he keeps getting the spinning wheel.
Okay. Well, after all this is done, I'm sure that it'll buffer out, I think, and people will be able to watch. But just let us know. Let us know if it clears up. Like I said, we had some bad storms that came through today that rocked us pretty good. I know back at my home area in Bedford, they said he got pretty good down there today. So
yeah, we had one. It scared Josh.
Yeah, I squalled pretty loud.
Yeah, he squalled like
not
a little.
Not quite girly squall.
It was a little,
but it was a squall. Are y'all still getting us? Just let us know. I hope so. We might have to start doing these at the shop. Did we see your rod question? No, yeah. I didn't.
Regarding rods, medium heavy, or extra heavy for 2-ounce baits, we're actually using like an extra heavy rod.
Yeah.
And the one that we're getting is going to be able to throw up to 3 ounces.
Yeah.
Mainly what we're doing here.
8 foot.
Yeah, it was an 8 foot. I think it was 1 ounce to 3 ounce baits that we could throw.
Yeah.
He says it's fixing to get bad there in Alabama.
Yeah. We had a good one. We had a good one come through. come through today.
Yeah.
But yeah, when it comes to rods, like this bait I'm about ready to show you with swim baiting, you could get away with like possibly a medium heavy. You could get away with it.
Yeah, if not just your jig rod.
Yeah,
for sure. Just a heavy rod, probably up to 1 ounce, 3/4 to 1 ounce. You'd probably be fine to throw this bait all day. So you wouldn't need to really like change your setup, change your reel or anything.
Yeah.
But like the only reason we went with these, because I mean, like I was throwing an Ora, but it was an older Ora, and when I started throwing the one, I actually like messed the drag system up in it.
Yeah.
Throwing it, and that was just my first cast. But like I said, it was an old Ora. It's probably 8 to 10 years old. So
yeah. So yeah, I mean your rod, like I say, you want something that's extra heavy, but it's got that fast tip, so you can still sling those baits out there. Because this is not a bait that you're going to be looking to skip up under a dock. Not saying you can't.
Yeah, you have to be real brave. Especially like if you're
$200 bait.
Yeah. I would throw this underneath the dock definitely before I would skip a $200 bait.
Yeah.
But these baits here that we're getting ready to show you definitely be something that we would skip underneath the dock.
So these are Savage.
Oh, Savage gear.
Like I say, we haven't thrown them yet. We've seen videos and have so far liked them. And we do plan on doing some videos showing you guys what we talk about, what we like about them.
But that thing looks tasty.
I mean, that looks like straight perch. And I mean, it is soft. Like if they come up and hit it, look at that. I mean, it is soft. It's got a good little wobble, like a wide tail. What do they call that tail again, James?
Wedge. I think it's a wedge tail.
Wedge tail. Hook on the top. And then you got a nice little eyelet here. But I mean, with the shad, I mean, the perch spawn you're going to go on, and you can get around those beds, because let me tell you, some of those big fish, if you're careful, if you come up on a spot where you think perch would spawn, you know what I mean? Like a good sandy area.
Yeah.
And just ease up with a good pair of glasses, you have a good chance of seeing a big bass swimming around sometimes. Well, what I like to do before I pull up on something like that, because I never threw nothing like this on those. I was throwing topwater baits. Czar spooks, poppers, stuff like that. But you want to try to stay as far as you can, because you don't want to spook the perch and have them going crazy as well. So you get something like that kind of running through there, the bass are ready to feed. They done spawned. They done made love.
Yeah, they might, like this right here. You run through some fry garters.
Yeah,
are probably going to tear it to pieces.
Yeah, so you can find good spawning flats too where bass have been, especially like around trees where they spawn, and the fry will get up in the trees or around the floating docks, stuff like that.
Yeah,
I think it's gonna be killer. This is by Savage. It says it's got a built-in rattle too, and scented. I don't know. That's a weird scent to me.
Yeah,
I don't know. It's just different. I'm not saying it smells bad.
It's just a different smell.
Yeah.
And on the sensitive tip, yes, definitely what we want is like a sensitive, fast tip. That's what that would mean, and that's what you want. You just want something that's got a little bit of sensitivity, but you want it, and plus it lets you be able to sling that bait.
And when you're working, like so rod selection is key with a lot of this. You know what I mean? When it comes to any kind of bait selection, but all around, if you're going to big baits like the glide baits, you're going to want, like say James said, the extra heavy, fast tip. The reason why you want a little bit faster tip too is because when you're trying to, now a lot of you're working these glide baits is you're just cranking the handle. You're pointing at the bait and you're cranking the handle to get that thing to do this. But also, this is got to think of like a crankbait. You don't want something super heavy all the way to the tip, like a flipping stick, because when they hit it, you don't want to rip everything out of their mouth immediately.
Yep. Yeah, you just want to do like a smooth pull. Like
them big ones are gonna set the hook most of the time.
Yeah,
unless they're running to you.
Yeah, because I mean, you got a lot of hooks. You're just trying to do just like you would if you're crankbait fishing.
Yeah,
and stuff like that. You don't really need to like set it home.
So this is another one. This was a shad one. I'll take you out another packet. This is Savage gear as well. Scented, built-in rattle.
And the reason that we have these is, again, they're cheap.
Yeah.
So, and like I said, we haven't tried any of the Savage gear stuff. as of right now.
Right now,
we
stuff
will
we've
try
heard
them.
has been good. You
Yeah.
know? But I mean, that's what that is. Same kind of tail. This one says it's got built. This one don't have rattle. If it does, it's not working. But the cool thing about this one, and James actually pointed this out yesterday. I didn't see it. It's got a spot right here for a stinger hook. So you got your top hook, then you can put your stinger hook right here on the bottom. Come down and hook it, somewhere right in here. But now that right there, I mean, man, that's a skipping bait right there.
Yep.
Look how narrow that thing is. It looks good. Big old eyes like your shad's got.
I mean, it looks tasty. I'd be caught if I'd never make it to 10 pounds if I was bass.
We'd be like riding around 12-inch fish.
I'd be riding around somebody's live well.
Yeah. You're riding old Joe's live well, 12-inch Joe, trying to get one back to the weigh-in real quick.
I hear you.
Needed that limit.
That'd be old dink.
Yeah, old dink fish. But
that'd probably be a dead fish.
And I mean, that's kind of some stuff we've been playing with right now. What we got going on? What people saying?
10,000 fish headhunter looks like a great bait too. I'll have to look into that one.
Yeah. I mean, if y'all got some baits, let us know. We're just kind of buying up stuff and trying, and it's new to us this year. That's why we're not really fishing tournaments much. I mean, we will fish some Thursday nighters probably.
Probably we'll probably fish some couple tournaments here and there.
Yeah.
But mainly we're just trying to
learn new things.
Yeah, I just want to experiment and test stuff. And
in tournament mode, you can't do it because you want to fish what you know.
Yeah. And even if I'm going to pre-fish, I'm probably not going to want to throw a bait or just say, hey, I'm going to take my swim bait rod with me and I'm throwing nothing but swim baits today. To me, that's the only way to learn the technique is, you just don't go out there and you're not going to catch a lot of fish. But I mean, after working a few glide baits that I've used, there's a different retrieve for each one. So what I did, like I said, we're super new to this, is I threw short cast and eased it in and felt what I seen, what I liked in the bait and seen what it did, because you could do that and do some quick turns and it actually turned all the way back around on you. So like I said, just practice with each retrieve for each bait.
Look, is totally hidden. Magnetic system. Oh yeah. Frog and big boy baits. Yeah. $10 lure though.
Well, I
don't mind. I don't mind spending $10 on a. I mean, we're kind of getting that era now where it's hard to buy a good crankbait or hard bait, or especially swim baits where they're kind of specialty with like custom paint jobs and stuff. It's hard to get anything under $10 now.
Oh yeah, I mean you can't really buy a Rapala. You can't buy a Rapala DT for $10. I don't think. Not the DT 16s and up.
No,
they're going to cost you at least $10.
So you get into Spro crankbaits. And, I mean, Lucky Craft. They've always been up there in that 15.
Mm-hmm.
I remember when we were about throwing up, paying $15 for a Lucky Craft jerkbait.
I know we didn't want to.
Yeah,
I know we lost on one time. I thought we were both going to cry in the boat.
Yeah, that one came up, hit it, and just swam on back down the bottom. Mm-hmm. So I mean, that's what happened. That's what gets me when it comes to buying a $250 bait. Like these guys will spend $250, $500. I mean, we looked at a couple and it was $550.
Yeah, and they said that the tactical bassing guy said they have them all the way up to $1,000. I have not found $1,000 one, but I am 100% positive there's probably some that's that and over that.
Yeah,
out there.
And the problem is now, even if you find, like it was one we were looking at was $100-some.
Mm-hmm.
Not saying we were dead set on buying it, but we wanted to talk to people and get some information, and you can't even get in touch with a lot of these people that are making these high dollar baits, or if they even have in stock, and some of them they don't reply back to you. You know what I mean? Like
they're a one-off. It's like they got their little niche people,
Yeah.
So, and if you don't have their direct line or whatever, it's so hard to get.
Yeah.
Even try to get into the click, and a lot of them are just sold out. Especially after the Elite Series happened.
Oh, down there, and man,
you ain't gonna find them.
And Chris Zaldane and all them did good on them. Shoot, it's hard to find that stuff, man.
He said he's got Lucky got a big handful of Livingston lures, big hard swim baits.
Yeah, that's something I haven't thrown a lot of. I've actually had, I think, 1 or 2 topwater Livingstons, but I haven't thrown a lot of Livingstons.
I don't think I've bought a Livingston yet.
I just had a couple of them. So, but yeah, I mean that's kind of it. Oh, so this is one thing we looked at today. We got. I don't know. We're gonna try it for you guys that are on here. All 5 of you. If you haven't hit the like button, please hit the like. We've been looking for something to put these baits in. You know, that you can store easy.
Let's see how it works.
Yeah, I'm worried about the hook getting there.
This rubber.
Yeah, but if they stick through.
That ain't mine.
Well, I ain't worried about it. I just worry when you go grab that dude.
Sticking through.
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, that might not work. We might have to put it in something else.
Oh, that's stuck. There we go. But we did buy this today at Bass Pro with the hopes of using this. But we didn't really think about that, did we?
Yeah, we might have to put lure wraps on.
Yeah, but anyways.
Or get the little hook things put on hooks.
This might be good to hang on your wall. You just want to put some on and stuff.
Yeah, lingerie.
Yeah.
Whatever.
Crazy.
Whatever he's into.
Yeah. 6'8". What's up, guys? Hey, man. Thanks for tuning in. He said, talking like when we drink it, that IPA beer.
Oh man, I don't know what was it called?
Something mango, but I can't remember the brand. But we had a customer bring some to us yesterday when he dropped off his boat for us to do some rigging. Which stay tuned, we're going to announce soon for that. But do some rigging, and he dropped off. Not that we're heavy drinkers by no means whatsoever. We might drink a beer here and there. And he dropped them off, and I opened the refrigerator up, and I was like, "Man, what is that? Mango? Let me try that."
Yeah, it's an IPA.
We don't drink IPA beer.
We really don't drink.
Yeah, if we do, it's like a Bud Light, or he drinks a Corona or something. But
the hook protectors,
that rolling case.
Mm-hmm.
Large order, yeah. I mean, I guess you could. You get the hook protectors.
Yeah, you can buy them. They're pretty cheap.
I just know I'm lazy that I'm not gonna put them on there.
Well, if you're that lazy and you don't put them on there, you're probably gonna get hooks.
Well, I'll just throw them in a box. I'll just find a box. Then I don't even put them on there. That's like oh shoot, what was the other thing? Like the people that get, like some people with reel covers on their reels. I'll put them on my rods because I don't want them tangled up. But reel covers, I know I'll never put them on. Takes too much time. But anyways, that's kind of enough on the swim baits. If you guys got any questions, let us know. I'm gonna get into something. We're gonna get into something that we both like to do. I love to do. I really look forward to this time of the year. It's something that's James knows. I talk about it a lot. When a night fish bite goes on, that's what I like to do. I love it. Smith Mountain Lake is a hotbed when it comes to the night fishing. I know a lot of other lakes might be. I was actually surprised when I went to Chickamauga that them guys, like different things that they do. Different than what we do. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Like they didn't even know about what y'all did.
Yeah. Well, when it comes to like thunder sticks and stuff like that for the night bite, they were throwing big spinner baits with big Colorado blades and stuff like that, which works. It still works at Smith too. But I love when that time hits and you can kind of get in those secondary points where those post spawn fish are coming in. They'll kind of hang out there when the shads start flicking the top. Then them fish will pull up off those points and they'll start busting. So you can kind of go find you 2 or 3 good points before it gets dark. Fish, maybe get lucky and catch you a couple of them. And then you'll start hearing them hitting on the top, up on the point. Then you just kind of work your way in and work down the banks. And but it's super fun. If you ever get the chance and you're around Smith or maybe your body of water, I don't know, just make sure you check with your laws. And some lakes don't let you be out after dark. And what does he say?
Yep, definitely use. We're going to get into the bait selection.
Yeah. So night fishing, people try to work as too much of a science. You know what I mean? Like people really get into a science of it. And I just don't. Fish can see just as good at nighttime, I think, as they do during the day. Actually, during the day, if it's real bright and sunny, they like to stay deep because the sun hurts their eyes. You know what I mean? So I think they see a little bit better at nighttime. My opinion, I don't know. But when it comes to night fishing, there's a couple different things I like to do. Starting out with Carolina rig, Texas rig. And then jig. You like throwing a jig. You've done good at nighttime on a jig. I don't throw it much at night, but you have done good with a jig.
Yeah.
But is this, getting a Carolina rig and Texas rig and throwing them up on those points off the sides of those points, fan casting them with a couple of different baits. I'll start. It gets dark. There's a couple things I like to switch over to. One, I like to throw a trick worm on Carolina rig at nighttime. I used to throw an old monster, and I used to throw a mag too, and I got away from it. I actually started throwing trick worm. That's a black trick worm. I actually will have. Now I have seen this. When you get a good full moon, it's a little bright outside, you can go with a black, I think you call it a black sapphire. It's got that blue flake in it. That's been a great bait. But early in the spring, I'll go with black or I'll go with black grape and trick worm. And that's been great, especially on a Carolina rig. And sometimes I'll go all night throwing that and not even worry about the shad spawn.
Yeah.
But and then you got your Mag 2s.
Can't go wrong with the Mag 2.
Old Zoom Mag 2, 9-inch, 9.5, whatever they call this one. What are they saying?
So he hasn't caught a single fish on a jig in Connecticut.
Really?
You have to just put it in your hand. I would go smaller jig.
Yeah.
Start with something small, natural. Go. Was it pumpkin green? Like it's like a pumpkin with a green flake or something brown and some black in it.
Figure out what your crawls are.
And a green pumpkin jig. You don't really need. I hand tie all my my jig skirts and all, but I only carry like 4 or 5.
Yeah.
And a couple of them are just little custom little tweaks that I do, but it's nothing special. But bluegill and crawfish is what you're trying to resemble.
Mimic, yeah.
So just try to stick with that and go small first, because the smaller the bait, the easier it is. I think what we used to use is a little round ball. I can't remember what.
Ekins.
The Ekins.
Yeah.
Little round ball.
You used to be able to get them in the 2-pack. I don't know how they are now.
Yep, 2 or 3 pack. And they were just little bitty finesse style jigs, and that's what I started with. And then once you do that, you'll just build your confidence up, and then you start throwing something bigger. But as soon as you go bigger, the bigger you go, the less bites you get. So
But I mean, you can pull some big fish off of a jig. It is, but when we were learning the jig, we brought nothing but jigs. Like we brought the jig box, maybe 2 or 3 reels with jigs, just in case you mess one up.
Yeah,
skipping or whatever, you backlash it to oblivion and you can't use it no more. And have different jigs, football jig. I mean, it can be mind blowing, but if you keep it so simple. Gerald Swindle actually had a video I watched a while back and how simple he keeps his jig selection. He said you can go anywhere in the world and catch them off of a green pumpkin and a black and blue jig. Anywhere in the world. You just got to figure out. Now, like Captain's Quarters back at home where they do like the night tournaments and stuff, he'll have his minnow seine down there or whatever. He catches crawfish and he'll put them on the dock and he'll take pictures for all the anglers. Like, here you go, here's your, and you're just trying to match your jig to that. And I mean, some of these jigs, man, I mean, crawls you're looking at like that. I mean, they're huge. I mean,
I seen one up there look like a daggone lobster the one day over at, what was it old?
It was an old restaurant you was at, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was a restaurant. What's it? Campers Paradise.
Yeah.
It was old Campers Paradise when they redone that. But yeah, it was huge.
Yeah. So I mean, a jig bite it's fun, but you got to be patient with a jig bite. I mean, it's if you stick with it all day, it can be rewarding, or you can zero and look like a big dope all day. You know what I mean?
And it can get expensive too.
Yeah.
That's why I started making my own jigs. Is just because to throw them in the right places you need to throw them in, you're probably going to lose a lot.
Yeah. I mean, if you plan on, it's kind of expensive to get into making your own jigs. But once you're done and you got it, it pays for itself. Because I mean, a lot of jigs now, good jigs for $5.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I mean, some of them are $3. You just gotta be careful because of the hooks.
Yeah.
You go cheap, you're not getting as great as a hook.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So,
but in a finesse jig, it really doesn't need to be that crazy.
But kind of getting back on the what was saying there? And chatterbaits. It must be the don't work well. Now I will say chatterbaits up north. Chatterbaits up north. I don't know for experience, but your friend that you remember we made some for him.
Oh yeah,
loved chatterbaits.
Yeah, I made them as a specific color, and he killed them up there.
Yeah, but I mean, for us with chatterbaits, the only time I catch one with chatterbait is Marchish.
Yeah,
before they go on to beds, before like when they're feeding up. That's the only time I do really good. I don't say really good. That's I have more success with a chatterbait then. But I'm not a chatterbait fishing stuff for me. I just can't.
I can't keep it in my hand long enough.
Yeah, Bugs Island I do better with a chatterbait than I do anywhere else. I can't do it at Smith. I can't make it work. Cicadia bite will be on this year. Oh yeah, topwater bite. Yeah, I remember years ago when I was a kid and we went on a camping trip and the locust. I mean, I guess they call them locusts. Was horrible. Cicadias. I mean, they were everywhere. You couldn't hardly sleep at night. They were so loud. And man, the topwater bite was. Did you go camping once that year when they were going? When that? Well, I can't remember if you was.
It might have been.
I can't remember, but yeah, it was insane. But kind of getting back to night bite. That's a Mag 2. That's a 9-inch worm. You can't go wrong with that on a Texas rig whatsoever. I mean, it is it's a killer during the day.
Oh yeah, you can catch them if it's cloudy.
Yeah, if
it's cloudy, I go dark. Just like in the morning.
Now
you go with darker colors.
Yeah. Now another bait, kind of similar, and you're going to be in that kind of that jig territory. But I have caught a pile of fish off of at nighttime. Is going to like a green pumpkin crawl on a Texas rig, flipping it around. Now when I'm Texas rigging, I got 2 beads on. Some people go 1 bead. I always got 2 beads on. But I put my bullet weight on, I put 2 beads on, I tie it on.
Yeah, it's kind of like a Carolina rig without the swivel.
Yeah. And when I'm working a Texas rig at nighttime, I'll pop it. Not real hard, not like constantly popping it, but some people drag. I don't do a lot of dragging. When I'm working, I just kind of pop it. I really pull up and then clicking around. It just does really well. That's my go-to. If the bite isn't tough and I'm not getting nothing off this, I'm going to a crawl. And sometimes I'll start it out and just stayed with it all night.
Oh yeah.
So, if you get around something like the docks that got dusted dawn lights, that green pumpkin crawl, throwing it up there because we're getting up there where their shad are going.
Yep.
And they're trying to get to shad. So, it's perfect. Crawl's good bait. Do they make rubber beads? I feel like plastic beads don't really help. To be honest with you, I used to use plastic all the time.
Yeah, that's all. I used to go just buy them in the craft section, but now I use more glass.
Yeah, that's all I use is glass beads. Glass beads, you gotta be careful. You gotta inspect them a lot more because they can crack, and you can fray your line if you're not careful. But I have rarely beat them around on Carolina rig. And hardly ever have any issues with glass beads.
Yeah.
But you just gotta, if you've had one on there for a while, mainly it's the one that's closest to weight. When it comes up, smacks it.
Yeah.
It'll, like if you're using an egg sinker or something, it'll chip them up on the end a little bit sometimes. But I don't have a lot of issues with glass beads. But I mean, rubber beads, you're kind of defeating the purpose then because it's not making a lot of noise.
Yeah.
So they make tungsten ones. I do know they make tungsten beads. I've seen them, but I mean, man, you throw one of them dudes and you lose Carolina rig, you lost some lot of money.
Yeah.
So, but what other questions we got? Is that it right there?
I think so.
Bucktail jigs. Yeah, I don't throw a lot of bucktails. Not saying they don't work. I don't throw them a lot, but I know people that do, especially during for stripers and stuff. Sometimes I think that making a small worm farm would be my best bet. Yeah. But you know what? When you do that and you go perch fishing or whatever, you won't catch them.
Brass and glass.
I've learned that. Yeah. Yeah, brass and glass. Yeah. My dad. That's what you see a lot of the old timers. Not saying you're old timer, Dave. I'm just saying.
That's what it sounded like.
Well, my dad was. My dad was big into brass weights with some of the brass clickers. That's what my dad threw all the time when he used to throw Carolina rig. Like he threw Carolina rig on the river, but he said I am.
Yeah, I've never had a problem with tearing up in the hot.
No, I mean, everybody's got their own experiences. I get it. That's what makes fishing so great.
Yeah,
is people have different experiences with different setups, and it don't work for them. And if you've had a lot of experience with it messing up stuff, then it kind of kills your what's the word I'm looking for? Your confidence. So, like I say, not everything works for everybody.
Yeah.
And it don't. I mean, you do things a lot different than I do on certain things. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, there's the line that we were having a talk with the other week that he's never had an issue with.
Yeah.
And I have. And there's other lines that he can't stand, and it did okay for me. I think it's just good experiences, and that's what makes fishing great. But
that's
how we learn. But
he's sitting with his granddaughter talking about brass weights.
Oh man,
you got to teach them while they're young.
That's right. Teach them the old timer ways, like I just said. But kind of get back to the night bite. Always pay attention and listen when you start hearing them fish hit on the bank. It's a lot of times I'll put that Carolina rig down and I'm heading onto the bank, throwing a jitterbug, throwing a thunder stick, a few other odd and little weight baits. Anything that's a weight bait that you can work real slow.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, I'm talking slow. Something's got a lot of rattles in it, and it's just coming across the top. But something I've learned, and I learned this from a buddy of mine, Alan, because I could never get that bite right. I'd throw it, never get a hit, never get a blow up. And I learned that I had to be so far on the bank that when I casted, that if you wasn't ticking the riprap when you were bringing it back straight down the bank, that you were out too deep.
Mm-hmm.
They like to run it into the bank. So, just make sure that's big with night fishing. You know what I mean? With a weight bait, you can have a small one or you have a big one, but just that's key when it's night fishing. And you can still stay with these baits, Texas rig, Carolina rig, while that bite's going on. But you got to realize that all those shadowed up there, and all of those, a lot of the bass are moving up there. You're gonna still have some deep, but you're gonna have a lot of them rushing up there real quick to chase them shad and gorge on them shad. If you ever go up there at nighttime with a flashlight, you get hung up. You're going to get your bait, especially like right around this time. Look down the bank as you're going to get it. You'd be surprised how many bass you see.
Oh yeah,
up on the bank. It's crazy. I love that kind of fishing. I plan on doing more videos with it. We're trying to get set up so we can do some filming at nighttime. A lot of them are going to be clips more just sitting hook probably because we're trying to sit the hook and cut the light on at the same time.
Yeah.
But it it's so much potential at nighttime. You can catch some hogs at nighttime. I love that bite. But what else we got? Fishing with fathers was fun and cheap. Minnows, alewives, shiners, cheap back then. I wished I could afford a few dozen every time we get the rods out. Yeah, that is fun fishing. I know my dad, when we used to go to Briary, that's what he loved to do. He liked to. And then he seen that I was picking up bass fishing with when we was throwing those Rapala jerk bait things.
Yeah.
Started catching bass, and Dad just he knew I was getting tired of sitting there.
Yeah.
With minnows, so we started doing a little more bass fishing. He'd go up there and catch crappie all the time. Doing it, he loved it. So, and catch some big bass like that.
Yeah. If you're in here right now and you haven't hit that like button, if you would you please hit that like button?
Yeah, hit it, like it. And then and if you haven't subscribed to our YouTube channel, hit it. We do got some great content that's coming in. And have y'all checked out like some of our other videos? Make sure you go check them out. Some of our fishing. We're trying to do more fishing content. So check them out. If you like it, please hit the thumbs up. It just really helps us growing. We're trying to get more fishing content out there. Our page has grown for rigging kayaks and kayak mounts and all that. And we love doing that. And we're going to be doing more of that.
Yeah.
But we love fishing too. So we want to share that stuff with you guys, be more informative with what we're doing. As soon as the A lot of moves.
Yeah. Sometimes it is like
that. Need a kayak. Yeah. I'm telling you, it's
addicting.
Yeah. You get into kayaking, it's a whole. I mean, we come from bass boats to kayaks, and now we're kind of working our way. We're still gonna be kayaks. We're still kind of working our way like the John boat. And, I was fortunate enough to be able to get my dad's boat, his old boat. So, but we're still gonna do a lot of kayak content.
Yeah.
And boat stuff. But it's just so we can get out there and do more. Really, we were so. I like the kayak.
That and be able to take our families out.
Yeah.
Probably one of the bigger things is just be able to take our families out, but yes, to be able to get more content and do the whole thing, because we like bass fishing, in the whole, and we like doing every bit of it. I think there's definitely places where you just need to go wade the bank and stay from the bank.
Yeah.
And fish from, when you're fishing ponds, you can fish on the bank, or if you just want to drop your kayak into the pond and go fishing with that and fish these small waters. I don't want to be limited to any of it anymore.
Yeah.
And I felt like before I was so restrained, especially where I live at, I couldn't go.
You only have one ramp.
I have one ramp that I could put in at, or a couple ramps that you could put in at, but I had just a big bass boat and I couldn't run everywhere that I wanted to do. I was afraid I was going to tear the boat up.
Yeah.
And it was just a bigger water boat. I didn't really need that where I live at right now.
Yeah.
But eventually I'd like to have another one and, maybe do some other BFLs and stuff like that again, get to fish some bigger waters and play around.
Yeah. Well, like around here where you're at, it's tough because, like kayaking, for instance, you've been fishing a lot of this with a kayak for so long that you haven't, some of the places we went, you've never even been able to get to because either your bass boat, you couldn't run it because the motor was too big, or the kayak couldn't get there. I mean, you could, but it was just such a long haul with the motor for when you only got a couple hours of fishing. That's just how it is with us right now.
Or I wouldn't be able to go fishing at all because I have my kids.
Yeah.
Especially like last year with COVID and everything like that. I mean,
I
had my kids a ton. Like we had them at the shop just about every day. I mean, we were just doing whatever. And when I got home from work, I really didn't feel like loading up 3 or 4 kayaks so we could go fish at the river with a 5-year-old, a 7-year-old, and a 9-year-old
just for a couple hours.
And kids, their attention span is very short. Where if they're in a kayak, they're gonna have to do some work, or you're gonna be doing a lot of work pulling them. So
yeah. What's crazy is you can't find live crayfish for sale here, Connecticut, but in Louisiana they are, of course, deep. Yeah, oh yeah, and they're good too.
What?
The crawfish.
Oh yeah, I had to stop and. Where's one of the best places in Louisiana to get crawfish is what I want to know.
Yeah, that place we stopped in Baton Rouge.
How many pounds did I eat?
I don't know. It was like 5 pounds or something. I don't know. It might not. I don't know if it was that much, but it looked like it. It was a plate, and then didn't have potatoes and corn on the top of it, or was it just corn?
It was corn and potatoes.
Yeah,
I think it was just mainly crawfish.
Oh man, that was a lot. How come in a pond you stand on the bank and throw through the middle and get in a boat and you go to the middle and throw to the bank? I don't know. It is funny, isn't it? But in a pond, you do that. Like certain spots you throw out there, but I always tried to work down the bank.
I've always been trying to work down the bank. But like but now with electronics and everything, more people are fishing deeper.
Yeah.
Especially with Panoptix and all the live scopes and all just active views and all that stuff. I mean, there's a lot more people fishing deep, and there's going to be a lot more people that figure that deep bite out, and they are going to be hammers.
Yeah.
And that to me is one of the biggest things that I want to learn this year is how to actually use my electronics to the best of my ability instead of just having something on the front that it's just cool to have.
Yeah.
I mean, it is cool to have it, but there's so many people that have it and don't know how to use it. And I would say that I know how to use it some, but I'm not using it to its full potential by no means. Have I used it since I've had it to its full meaning. So that's what I want to learn that thing this year.
Come down here and I'll treat y'all to R&R Seafood, Great Hole,
in the wall.
Yeah. Oh, see, that's the ones that are good. What was that one we ate at went to Shreveport? Was that like JJ's? Or,
I don't know. We asked just everybody.
And this was the place, and it was a whole. But I mean, you go inside, it was nice.
Oh yeah, it was. But those little small little dive places normally are, but it was packed.
Oh yeah.
So I mean, like we knew it had to be a good place, but yeah,
that was.
But Josh can't eat too much.
Yeah, I'm allergic to shellfish. So I can't.
So I had to shell him a couple and give it to him and make sure he didn't.
Yeah, I can't.
He didn't. His eyes didn't swell shut, and he can't touch it. So I don't know if I put it on his fork or I don't know, but don't think it's not that weird. But.
Yeah, I mean, he might have had to feed me a couple. I don't know. No, I'm just kidding. I'll be like, hey man, can you peel that and put it on the fork for me?
Yeah. And I mean, what do you do?
Yeah.
No.
Yeah, he's gonna be nice. So. And I eat it, but my limit a lot of times is like 3. I'm done.
Yeah, he starts getting itchy.
Yeah, my throat gets itchy. I shouldn't do it. My wife she's like, your reactions get worse every time. It's good. So I don't eat a lot of it. So
yeah,
anyway.
I did.
Yeah,
I tore it up.
That boy can eat. I ain't gonna lie, like his little daughter. You were looking up overnight delivery charges for crawfish to the States.
Really?
You can have shrimp or oysters. We'd love to have the crawfish too. Yeah, crawfish is good. What little bit I can eat of it. Most of the time I have to eat steak. But no, I mean, that's it on that. I mean, when it comes to the tackle, we got some more things coming. I think it's supposed to be this week. But I mean, it's nothing like crazy.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? This is some frog stuff we ordered. So.
Oh yeah.
I mean, we'll go over them, but
yeah, maybe we'll do a frog fishing show next week since we got some frogs coming in and everything like that. Maybe we can go over our frog setup, what rod we're using, and what reels, and
we'll do a whole top water series.
Top water lineup.
Yeah.
For spring, for post-spawn fishing,
and then maybe after that we'll do rivers.
Mm-hmm.
We'll get into smallmouth stuff. Look at my comment above about the bank fishing. Love to have the crawfish. You first arrived to cast from the 20 foot away. You spook the fish within 10 to 15 feet of the arrival. I mean, you can. It just depends. I mean, I know us, man. We were so excited. If you get a good pond, it all depends how much pressure's on that pond. If you're fishing a local pond, like where everybody hits it, beats it up, yeah, you might have to be careful how you ease around the pond and all that. But like some of like the farm ponds that we fished, you might scare one when you walk up here and there.
Yeah,
but I mean,
most of the time, what you do is you walk around that pond and it'll settle that one area back down.
Yeah,
and those fish are going to do what they're going to do. And by the time you come back around, you'll be fishing that area before you actually get to it. Is what you just work away. I mean,
we made laps around ponds. I mean, when we were kids,
multiple laps.
When we were kids, his mom would drop us off up there at the pond, and we fished all day long. So then go catch catfish, eat them for lunch, and go fish, and then go fish again. You know what I mean? Like, I mean, but I mean, we'd have about a path walking around that pond, But I mean, pond fish are a little different than like your regular lake fish or your fish that, like I say, if you get a pond that's heavy pressured, then I would be trying to do something that everybody. If you walking around, you see everybody throwing underspin, or you walking around and seeing everybody throwing little bitty grubs, or what? Go different. You know what I mean? You go to some of them ponds where you see a bunch of baits hanging in the trees. Go different. You know what I mean? Like try to do something different. I mean, don't be afraid to throw a big
old swim bait.
Yeah. They get spooked. Yeah, I mean, if you got a lot of fishing pressure there.
Definitely, and they'll probably will be deeper.
Yeah,
more than likely.
Yeah, drop shots.
High pressured lake.
High pressured lakes, you want to go finesse. You want to go drop shot, shaky head, finesse jigs,
or just something big and out of the ordinary.
Yeah, something they don't see.
Yeah, like I might would throw the mag draft.
Yeah,
in a real pressured pond.
I'll probably throw that in anything
just to see just because, I mean, you could possibly work that thing across because nobody else might not be throwing that thing in that pond, and you might actually catch a fish of a lifetime out of there.
Yeah. And you'd surprise a lot of people. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, news wise, we're working on some stuff. Be hitting the website here soon. Some products, some in the kayak industry, some in other industries. You know what I mean? So, it's gonna be in the boating industry, but anyways, we got some stuff that's just gonna be coming out. Got new videos that's gonna be releasing this week. I got one where I caught my first big fish on a swim bait. James has got some stuff he's working on. We took his kids and family out. And then I got one that I went out and caught some off beds, and also had a fun day with swim bait. I guess you call it a fun day. It was a learning day with a swim bait. That's when I lost my big one. So we got them videos coming out, and then we got the walkthrough with James's John Juan.
The John Juan.
So that's going to be coming through. We've got several people asking us about that. I'm doing a walkthrough on that. So that'll be coming out, and then we just filmed one today on something new that's going on with John Juan. So we're just going to leave it there.
Stay tuned.
Yeah, stay tuned. That's going to be fun. I'm excited about that. I'm excited for you.
I'm excited to get out there and,
run it.
Do whatever I got to do.
So, anyways. But other than that, that's where we're at right now. We're swim baiting. We're glide baiting. We're trying new things right now. So stay tuned. We got some good videos coming. What else? Is there anything else that I'm missing that I need to add?
No. If you'd like and subscribe to our channel if you haven't already. I know a lot of people on here are definitely regulars and everything like that. We appreciate that very, very much.
Yeah.
And thank y'all for the support.
Yeah, it does. It means a whole lot.
Yep.
When it comes to if any of you guys have ordered anything from us, just something I just want to touch base on is like when it comes to shipping, is just kind of be patient with us right now. We've been telling people 2 to 5 days, business days on shipping, and it's been reaching close to 5 days. Sometimes depending on the product and what we have like available right then.
Yeah.
Like if you order 127 mount, we're out. We can build them all. We can build several more right then. You know
but it might be a day or so because if we have other orders that are older or whatever, like we try to get them in first. Yeah. But like I said, it's just me and him. So
it's a 2-man operation unless the family come and help us.
Yeah. So
which they've had to do a lot this year.
So we get the kids involved. We just do what we got to do. So, we're trying to get everything out as quickly as possible for sure.
Yeah. So just stay patient with us. But like I say, hit the subscribe button, hit the like button. Also go on over to our Facebook. If you haven't followed us on Facebook, if you got it, or Instagram, make sure you follow us there. We post a lot on and stuff there. And then if some people are on TikTok, if you are going over to One Objective, we don't do a whole lot there, but every once in a while we catch a big one, we put it on there. Or a boat rig. If we do a boat rig. Old tickety talk going up there. So
I just found out this off being that, but found out this weekend. You know that you can Google on Apple Music or anything TikTok music, and there's actually playlists of TikTok music.
Really?
Yeah, they actually have their own TikTok playlists of all their different songs.
Is it like the full songs, or is it like just a short?
No,
clip?
It's the full songs.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Might check that out.
Yep. So that's what I did this weekend. That's what I figured out.
Yeah.
But that was a bit of useless information.
Yeah.
For y'all,
but for some, it might be worth it. I don't know. Most stuff in South Alabama is muddy water, so the fish weren't too spooky. Yeah. I like fishing.
I want to swim good. We're gonna have to hook up with you, Bass Cat Dave.
Yeah.
We're gonna have to go
do some fishing.
Because Alabama. We love some Alabama.
Yeah. So, I love that. Home of the Giants. Home of so many different fisheries. Great fisheries down there.
And the home of Bass Cat Dave.
And home of Bass Cat Dave. Bass Cat Dave has been with us almost day one.
The beginning.
Yeah. So, but guys, I appreciate y'all tuning in tonight. Like I say, share this video if you don't mind. If you're on Facebook, I did share the stuff on the video clips on Facebook when we went live. So just go in there and share it if you don't mind, if you get a chance. But other than that, man, share them fishing pictures with us. Tag us on Instagram, tag us on Facebook. You can email them to us, whatever. We'll share them. Just give us a little bit of information. If you share them with Messenger or email, just put a little story. Like what you caught it on, or where you caught it,
what your name is, where you're from, and you caught it on, and
yeah, we just like sharing the pictures for you guys, letting everybody see them big catches y'all get. So, but other than that, I think that's all we got for night fishing. We do plan on hopefully getting a Sunday night show going, and we're going to try something new maybe next weekend. We run out of time. Depends on our time. We'll start doing some of these at the shop, so we have a little better internet connection. So maybe we can get some guests on. So that way we'll have a Sunday night and a Tuesday night of different guests, different lineups. But anyways, hopefully that'll work out. We're not sure yet.
We'll see. We got to do
a few test runs.
Yeah, testy.
But other than that, guys, y'all have a good night and be safe on the water. Wear your life vest, and we'll talk to you later.
Yep. See y'all. Thank you. Sleep tight.